Are you lost, baby girl? 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 Are you lost, baby girl?
Oh, here we go again, buckos. We knew this was coming, at least I did. We get the third one right around the corner to close it all out. And we knew this all the way back when the first movie came out, but I feel like a lot of people just forgot about it. But here it is, knocking on our door. 365 Days Part 2, aka This Day, which is a stupid title, but shockingly not as stupid as the movie itself, if you can even call it a movie. A couple months ago, I made a video about the book that this movie was based on because I figured it would be easier on my mental state to split the two up and go into this movie only having to worry about the movie. Also, people have been I have a thumb infection and I have like ointment on it and I keep hitting it into things. So that's why for a while I needed the massive bandage, but right now, as long as I don't hit into anything, we should be good. We're gonna go like this. Everybody got distracted last time. Shockingly, once I make it through the content for these videos, I usually have a blast making them because the content itself is just so ridiculous and I can just turn into just this unhinged fever rambles and it just really fits my vibe. But shit, this one was rough. The book was really bad, but this movie was next level trash. I said that Morbius was barely a movie, and now I feel like I need to apologize. The first 365 movie barely had a plot, but this one just didn't even bother. If you remember from my video about the book, which you should definitely watch if you haven't already, one of my main complaints was that it was as expected, almost just entirely the scene, so there was barely any room for plot progression. But then the author just kept introducing new plot elements, but then never fleshed any of them out, and they all just felt like ideas that didn't make sense in the larger framing of the story. So I knew that a lot of this book was getting axed because there was just absolutely no way to facilitate it all. But I think they ended up trimming just a little bit too much while still somehow taking it in a more logical direction. And obviously still a lot of sex. They really outdid themselves with this one, but see, I just hit my thumb again. Yeah, they really outdid themselves here to the point that I feel like even the people that are watching it for those elements would get annoyed with how they implemented it in without really progressing any other plot points. Feels like there's less story than a no plot, just style fan fiction. I have personally been describing it as a series of music video style montages. And I can guarantee you that that is not as interesting as it sounds. And the one thing that really helped me get through the source material for that video was today's sponsor, Audible. My saviors in audio form. You know the deal. If you're looking for audiobooks or spoken word entertainment, Audible is the best source to find it. They offer thousands of different titles, from the classics to new releases to the book talk infamous, memoirs, and even podcasts. So no matter what your mood, Audible has the perfect selection for you. Every month you get a credit that you get to use on any title, including new releases that you get to keep for life. I have been very slowly working through my Shadowhunters video. Apologies for the many delays on that, by the way, but being able to listen to those audiobooks while going about my daily routine is just invaluable to me. Your membership also gives you access to the Audible Plus catalog, which gives members unlimited access to select audiobooks, podcasts, Audible originals, sleep tracks, and more at no additional cost. So if you're someone looking for new ways to be inspired, meet goals, just make it through more stories, or be entertained in your day-to-day life, Audible is a fantastic choice for you. So if you want to try out Audible for yourself, head on over to audible.com/Jedi or text Jedi to 500-500 to get 30 days completely free. But let's hop right into this cinematic experience. Feel free to watch my video on the first movie if you need a little refresher how this was born out of Blanca Lipinska's, again, story for the pronunciation there, belief that the 50 Shades series just didn't go far enough in that department, especially the movies. So really, 365 is the distant reject cousin of Twilight. It's honestly a really special phenomenon for something to make me look on 50 Shades with fondness, but this and the After series are really making that happen in the worst way. So for those who don't remember, the last movie ends with the audience being led to believe that Lara is dead. So you think that this one might start with showing us what happened, how she survived, some kind of reaction there. But no, it just cuts to them doing the nasty on their wedding day.
What the hell are you doing here?
You
You're sick people, you know that?
Wow, it feels like the audience was just directly being called out with that one. And all this is happening during some like drawn out intro song where like the Massimo actor himself is singing, I'm pretty sure. And at first I almost thought this was some kind of dream sequence where he thinks she's actually dead, because I couldn't imagine any other reason for this horrific color grade that looks like a war zone flashback. But no, I guess this is genuinely their wedding day. I just have no idea why it looks like this. Now in the book, the cliffhanger isn't her near death, it's that she's pregnant. Again, because he lied about giving her a birth control implant. She finds out she's pregnant in the first movie too, but never has a chance to tell Massimo. But instead of it being a conflict in this movie, it is instantly revealed that she lost the baby in the tunnel attack and never told Massimo so he wouldn't go on some kind of like murder rampage. And I think her not being pregnant is just swell, but I'm sure her not telling him is gonna cause some kind of massive conflict. Spoiler alert, not really. But I also don't know why they'd even make her pregnant if they were just gonna insta undo it for the movies. I do, it's for the drama. But it's not like Massimo didn't already want to murder everyone who tried to have his wife killed. Oh wait, was that just in the book? Oh well. It's wedding time. Like her parents are here for some reason when they were like a major source of stress in the book because they didn't know she got married. No time to linger around the wedding though, because it's time to fuck.
Something, girl.
Again, with a full song, that is gonna get really old very fast, isn't it? And for some reason, Massimo's like, you have 1 hour to do what you want. But there is no explanation as to why. In the book, it was specifically because he was expecting her to act like this perfect silent mob wife at their wedding reception, but only told her as they got there. So she said she'd do it if she got 1 hour to do whatever she wanted in the bedroom. I guess setting up the arrangement would have just gotten in the way of their erotic music videos. So she ties him up and makes him watch her play with toys. I'll say, you know, like Tonka trucks. And he gets so mad. Not as mad as in the book though. She doesn't even make it close to the full hour before he just busts out of the confines and angrily Hulk smashes her as if she's done something worthy of him being upset. Oh no, my wife can pleasure herself without me. Wah! It feels like they cut a lot to make the abusive and angry man seem less abusive and angry, which again, much like the most recent After movie, I feel filmmakers have just come to the wrong conclusion with all the bad reviews. You must steer into what made your product a shit show because that's why people are watching. And what's worse is that the lovely filmmakers think that we need to see the burgeoning relationship between Olga and Domenico. AKA we have another couple to worry about having a frick fest. Absolutely not. I did not sign up for this. You were supposed to keep it to one abusive romanticized couple per erotic film. Get it right. Yes, they were around in the last one and probably smashing and I've wiped it from my mind, but like visually outside of Lara's perspective, I do not need this. Oh good, they got rid of her shit wig, but already we're into another song. There was 30 seconds between the last sexy music video before another musical smashdown started. And this time it isn't an entire success, it's just a combination of them doing things like golf and horse riding, none of which happened in the book. There is literally only one activity that Massimo engages with in his free time. Can you guess what it is? Certainly not horseback riding, because there's only one thing he's riding. I'm losing my mind with all these songs though. Like, yeah, your actors kind of suck at delivering English lines a lot of the times, but like, that's okay. You don't need to cut all of the dialogue for a literal album of songs. There's already way too much plot from the book that was never fleshed out properly, and they're spending all this time doing literally nothing. Oh God, why is this happening? Why does he have so much whipped cream on him? Why are there grapes? I'm very upset. I have a university degree. What am I doing? Having a blast. One of the things that is very similar from the book though is that Massimo is always making the decision on where Lara will be and like where she can go, and at the moment she's starting to feel like an object. But ma'am, what were you expecting when you married the man who forcibly kidnapped you? Brain cells keep dropping out my head. Shit, votes on whether or not they're gonna keep the fake gay assaultist, because that's about what happened around now in the book. If that doesn't make sense to you but sounds interesting, go watch that video. So it plays out kind of similar after dinner with Olga, which literally lasted a minute. She sneaks back to the house and we are right back into another music video scene. Christ, they really outdid themselves with all these scenes in such quick succession. We are 20 minutes in. Just pure, well, we're not hitting theaters, so let's commit energy. Almost 2 full minutes of this. Even the kissing in this movie is enough to make me want to hurl. Like, I get the heat of the moment and the passion, but this is a movie. Now it's time for a music video travel montage of Olga and Lara sneaking off to the beach, which Domenico never would have let happen. He is literally like Massimo's right-hand man. But they reminisce about how they met as children, and then I think the movie was like, well, might as well give some bait to the fans of other categories. Just a friendly little mouth kiss here. I have no urge to even begin to ship this because it's all so painfully straight. But just as they're getting into their lovely meal, Massimo's men descend.
I said, we're leaving.
Yeah, Massimo would have slapped Domenico around for letting them leave. So she points out that she's feeling like a prisoner, that they're only together after his sick kidnapping because she decided, ma'am, this whole relationship is built on the foundation of you being a prisoner. Back to the mansion, I guess. And the mysterious tattooed man walks up and holy shit, it's Nacho already. Again, the book, the timeline's just a lot more sped up here. This scene's also just cut really weird to like let us as the audience know that she is very much noticing how attractive he is. The scene might as well have this music on it. So again, this is Nacho, and she's not remotely concerned at this person she's never met, just like walking up and being super familiar with her, even though literally none of Massimo's men or employees say shit to her unless it's to follow a direct order. So this rando popping up while she's being super guarded is very sketch. But she's too busy having a great little flirt sesh here to care, not remotely concerned that he excuses himself the second it sounds like someone is coming. No time to dwell on that though, because it's Christmas. This whole part was super dramatic in the book because before Christmas, Laura's family found out that she is pregnant when they had no idea she was even married because it's only been a few months since all this started. And when the mom finds out, she's rightfully like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? None of that here though, just a nice little family Christmas. Wait, did they just start viciously making out at the family gift giving time? Anyways, this was just all way more dramatic in the book. Domenico and Olga get engaged, but it was like after Domenico flipped into a rage and smashed in a car window because he found out Olga had to sleep with her ex to keep him, as in Domenico, out of jail. Yeah, there is a lot going on in the book, like in this garbage movie. And instead of her gift to him being the reveal that she's providing him with a son, aka an heir, she just lays out this line of toys and it's just like, you can do whatever you want. Happy birthday, Jesus. Merry Christmas. And again, this whole pound time scene is a music video and it's about 4 minutes long. I watched this by choice. Who am I kidding? You never would have let me escape this fate. So then they have some rare pillow talk and he mentions how he must be lonely with no real family. And then he does it. He mentions the hidden brother from the book.
I have a brother, but I'd rather not have him.
Shouldn't have counted out that plot point so early. We are back in the game. So she is obviously upset that he married her and never mentioned that he had a brother. And instead of like talking with her about it or explaining it, he just walks out. What a beautiful marriage blooming here. Then it just hard cuts to a shopping montage.
Remember, I am the hot goddess.
I do appreciate Olga for the most part. She does bring some kind of levity to my misery. I guess they need to be dazzled up for some kind of New Year's event that will also be Massimo business time. And you know what every fashion montage becomes? A fucking music video.
Girls just want to have some fun.
I kind of feel like the movie was auctioning off slots for these pop songs and they were just like, if you want to keep paying us, we'll just keep popping them in. Then we cut to the event itself where she is not happy. She's bored being the silent arm candy and wants his attention.
All conversations are more important than one with me.
So she talks to her parents and they mention how marriages are about compromise, but like, I don't think you can compromise with a mob boss kidnapper. Again, he thought he was being very reasonable with the whole like, oh no, you just have to stay here for a year. And then if you don't love me, like you can totally just leave. I say as I get you pregnant so you can't leave me. But then she sees him upstairs walking off with his ex, Anna. Ooh. So she is frantically chasing them down to a private room and sees them smashing.
Smashing!
In the book, this is actually where we got our second "Are you lost, baby girl" moment. But he says it super rudely, and I just feel like we were all cheated out of something there. Like, why wouldn't you feed into the meme? The whole thinking he cheated on her happens like way early in the book, but the timeline here makes more sense. Now, I kind of wish I didn't have the full framing of the book for this to see if I would have caught on right away, and I feel like I would have, because they did kind of make it super obvious with like how the timeline is not very spaced out. So if you knew what was going on at this point, let me know down below and I'll explain it in a bit. So she immediately storms off and Nacho is just like waiting there and she asks him to take her away, which makes no sense. Like, why wouldn't you question him being there? Why would someone working for a mob boss steal his wife away? It's just no. In the book, he just pulls her favorite pickup move. A drugged kidnapping. Because in the book, it's already been revealed that Nacho is the son of the rival Spanish mob family lead and their executioner. Mob drama, mob drama, mob drama. And he offers to take her out of the country with him so that she can sort the situation out from afar. So she calls her mom, says she was right about Massimo. But where? We never see her talking to her mom about Massimo, and they seem pleased as fucking punch throughout the entire movie. Then she eats her phone off the cliff. So they're just chilling at this beautiful property, hanging out in the sun with his sister, a lovely time. Cuts back to Massimo's place where Laura's mom is pitching a fit at him and gives him the weakest slap of all time. Like, they couldn't even add in a stronger sound effect.
I have no idea where is she.
And this very much pisses him off. Mom about to get yeeted off the high rise. Then she storms back to Poland and leaves him with this just horrible line delivery.
We are going back to Poland. Don't try to stop me.
Ma'am, why would he try to stop you? So Nacho's sister immediately starts pointing out the chemistry between the two of them, which, yeah, the dude's a charmer. And she is clearly into him so fast, like, Massimo who? But unlike the book, we actually get some stuff from Massimo's perspective, and we see Anna, the ex, talking about wanting to merge their families. So if it wasn't obvious, she had been sleeping with Massimo's twin brother when Lara walked in. And they set the whole thing up on purpose to get her out of the way. It made no sense that she fell for it in the book because Lara had already met the twin and almost been tricked by him, so you'd think that she would have like eventually realized what was happening. The movie at least gives her some benefit of intelligence because she just found out that he has a brother and never mentioned that it was a twin. So this was Anna's ideal plan: get Lara out of the picture so that she could take her place, which makes way more sense than the book logic. I don't really know why the brother Adriano went along with it though, because he clearly wants to be the head of the family. Either way, Massimo caught on to what happened. It does a lot to make things less stupid while still being fucking stupid. So we're back to Nacho being the perfect gentleman, watching movies, bringing her wine. Even with the direct kidnapping aspect, I was still team Nacho. Because in that respect, he and Massimo were just on even ground and Nacho just wins in every other respect. But it cuts to Massimo's twin and Anna talking about their plan falling apart and finding out that their men didn't grab Lara because someone else got to her first. So that's how they were gonna deal with their plan being exposed, like make sure they get Lara out of the picture too. Then I don't know why they wouldn't have just kidnapped her in the first place. And Massimo and Domenico seem to have a general idea of where she is and are working on a plan to get her back, but no time to figure out what the plan is because we need another music video smashdown, but this time it's in her dreams.
Take love with me.
Oh God. But she's woken up from this, someone's trying to break in and Nacho just knocks them out. Clearly one of Massimo's men come to rescue her, but no match for the Nacho. So she finally realizes that he might not be a gardener, ding ding. You know, maybe the lavish life and location could have clued you in, but he just explains it all away with like a wealthy father that he's trying to become independent of. But with a view like this, I get why she's not complaining too much. Mostly I just want to chill on a relatively isolated beach. Not that one. So Massimo and Domenico are trying to get to her location, I assume, but then they get the call that their extraction mission failed and Nacho is still alive. And treating his wife to a fine-ass date, look at this. But again, still rocking the back-to-back music videos, I'm going to lose my mind. Later on, Lara sees Nacho talking to someone on the beach and gets visibly upset and lasts long enough for him to have a little water fit.
Death, you are my bitch lover!
Tell him!
that mean ocean?
But quickly he's back to his playful self. He's teaching Lara how to surf, already more fun than she has ever had with Massimo. And then they kiss. Damn, now she's officially the one that cheated. I'll allow it. Nacho is so much better than Massimo, who receives some kind of location info and starts rallying the troops. Lara then has another relations dream about Nacho.
Are you having a nightmare or just an erotic dream?
It was a sex with you.
Yeah, I really believe her love and commitment to Massimo. What a beautiful marriage. But before they can have another romantic day, he has to take her to see his father, and Massimo's gonna be there too. She finally starts pushing for answers, and we get the most unnecessarily dramatic line delivery.
I am Marcelo Nacho Matos, and the eternal rival of your husband's family.
I am Inigo Montoya. Really, the eternal rival?
I was so naive.
Yes. But he doesn't want to be doing this. He wishes he could just own a little surf shop by the beach, but that's not the family way. And she actually judges him for that family dedication, but ma'am, your husband? So she gets taken away to see the head of the Matos family, and Massimo is already there having a meeting. I guess in the movie, the reason why the Matos family is going at Massimo is because he's been expanding his territory too much and they see it as disrespectful. So they'd rather his brother be in charge because they see him as more controllable. Apparently, Lara's accident in the last movie was a warning. And all this makes way more sense than what happens in the book, where all of this was just some wild scheme where the guy who started grabbing at Lara that time she was antagonizing Massimo on a pole wants to kill her to get revenge because Massimo shot his hands. Guys, you have no idea how much of a mess that book is until you watch the video. So of course, Massimo snaps at the dishonor on display.
Let me remind you that your wife is still with us.
You call yourself a man of honor.
But Matos also can't keep a handle on Lara because they lose her to the wrong bodyguards. Because even though it's not old bullet hands, someone is still out for revenge. So Massimo and Nacho team up. Amazing. It's like Edward and Jacob or Peta and Gale, except this time I'm actually on team side dude. So Lara is just alone in this massive room when, again, the fucking music.
To myself.
And this is clearly Massimo's twin strutting in, and she finally realizes that it's not her husband, it's drug-addled twin.
But it's nice to meet you, baby girl.
Okay, at least we got one. We got one baby girl. I don't actually know how Adriana would have any idea about this whole baby girl moment, but I was gonna let them have it. I needed this. He actually does a really good job changing up his voice and behavior, even though it wasn't super necessary and gets excessive. Looking like David Tennant in the horrible tongue flicks as Barty Crouch Jr. So Adriana wants to be the head of the family. Apparently he organized the hit on his own father, but Massimo had rights ahead of him, so he needs to kill Massimo too. And Anna wants Lara dead as revenge for Massimo leaving her. It's all just so much, and we're getting so much more before she's done. So Nacho and Massimo bust in, and there's a little bit of a standoff where Adriana starts taunting Massimo and wonders if their child would have looked more like Massimo or Lara. But how the hell did he know she was pregnant? It was super early on and Olga was the only one that knew. It makes no sense. He specifically has to mention that it was because of the accident to really rile Massimo up, but again, how could he know? Also, Anna says that they're the ones that pushed Lara into Nacho's arms, then like why were they pissed that he took her? This movie made so many choices in the right direction in terms of story logistics and then just burns it all. So she pushes the gun and tries to run. Anna shoots her and the blood explosion when she gets hit. Then Nacho shoots Anna, Massimo shoots Adriana. Wait, we gotta switch up the music.
What you say?
I know you're all thinking Dear Sister skit, but no, the original, the OC.
What you say?
And it ends, again, with wondering whether or not Lara is going to survive. Of course she is, though. We got another one of these suckers down the pipeline. Christ, okay, we're done. I know this video is definitely longer than this movie itself warranted. I just felt like I needed to explain some of those moments from the book and why it's worse and better at times. I even cut a bunch of that context out, so if you really want to know how insane it gets, link down below. I know I keep mentioning it, but like I think it is a really good video. But holy shit, this is a really bad movie. Like the last one obviously was too, but this is just truly next level. It's barely a movie. It is just a series of connected music videos with light plot moments in between. It's like a concept album with no concept. Like Fall Out Boy music videos are like, I don't see a problem here. So I did some rough calculations built on some hastily decided rules and not including the wedding song, general background music, really quick transitions, even if they were pop songs, and stopping the counter if a conversation started. The pop song style music video scenes added up to 39 minutes of the 1 hour and 46 minute runtime. Holy shit. The mob drama did go in the direction I expected it to, or the way that like when I was reading the book thinking like, why didn't they just do this? So I guess that was nice. I don't really have any idea where they're gonna go next. Obviously something with Nacho, but I was really banking on Anna coming back. And she probably does in the book, but not here. So I was definitely right. They had to cut out a lot. The side story with Olga's ex, Domenico's freak out, Lara's MMA fighter ex, Lara and Olga running away to Budapest where Lara gets manipulated by a young man pretending to be gay to lull her into loving him. I was actually kind of hoping that that terrible storyline was gonna play out here to some degree because I want a good old stalker story, but alas, let down again. Just a lot cut, definitely for the best. But yeah, that's the movie thing that we watched, that I watched, that we've all had to experience. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below. If you somehow had a different takeaway from this, are you like, no, this is like so much more artistic and better than the first one, you just don't understand it? Because I think this one was like worse in every conceivable way and not in a way that made it more fun. Really happy for that Netflix 1.5 times speed because I had to watch it 2 times to make this. Yeah. But that is gonna do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. Do not weep for my sanity. I'm not doing too bad, I don't think. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks as always to my Patreon supporters. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, leave a like on the video if you're into that kind of thing. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm mostly okay, and we'll catch you all later.